Huckabee joins us now. He's the former governor of Arkansas and a Fox News contributor. So, Governor, I want to toss out a couple of items to get us started. During your 2 terms, plus 2 years as governor of Arkansas, you had direct contact with fellow Republican governors of Texas, George W. Bush, Rick Perry. How closely did you work with them on issues surrounding the border, the southern border, and what knowledge did you gain that could help solve today's crisis? And then also, as we are reporting, the Biden administration, they're sending FEMA down there to find and expand suitable facilities. Is this a step in the right direction?
Well, sure it is. It's all hands on deck. The fact that DHS is actually saying, we're begging you for volunteers. We need help down here. That's indication that it is a crisis. And it's not so much that they just won't call it one. It's that calling it a crisis is only half the issue. Then it's doing something about it. You ask about the border issue, and even back when I was governor, the fact is there's been a problem at the border for a long time because we haven't dealt with it effectively. It's a federal problem, but the states really take it in the teeth in dealing with it. So it's not just the border states. They're the front line, and certainly Texas, Arizona, California are the ones who see it first, foremost, and take the brunt of it. But when the migrants get into the country, they don't just stay at the border, they come all over the place. And that means that states, whether it's Arkansas, Missouri, or for that matter, Maine or Vermont, may end up having to educate the migrant children. They have to provide health care. They've got to help find a place to work. And then there's a big factor. It drives wages down for American workers when employers can hire people off the books, pay them a cash wage that frankly is way below market value, and not pay Social Security and federal tax out of it. When that happens, everybody in America, every worker suffers. So this is a real, much bigger problem, I think, Arthel, than people recognize.
So do you think Congress has the will to work together across political borders to resolve the problems at the southern border?
No. No, they don't have the will to do that. I wish they did, but they don't. We've seen it. There were several times during the Trump administration when he laid on the table, for example, DACA. A lot of Republicans didn't even want to do it. I did. I thought it was a good approach. The president gave the Democrats more than they even asked for, and they walked away. They didn't want to do it because they didn't want President Trump to get credit. The wall that they hated so much until they built one in Washington, D.C., or around Nancy Pelosi's house, which they said was immoral until it was theirs, it was working. It was keeping control. It's not just to keep people out. It's to make sure that the people that we do let in are the people that we want to let in. Right now, the inability to control that border, Arthel, has 5 components: kids, cages, cartels, coyotes, and COVID.
Yeah.
We're telling people that by July 4th, we might get to have 8 or so people for a hot dog in our backyard. You got thousands of people jammed up in facilities, overwhelmed, and not being tested and not wearing masks. I don't buy it that the Biden administration thinks that the COVID issue is the #1 if they're not taking care of it at the border.
Well, I mean, listen, you're right. You raised so many issues, including, you know, a lot of people crowding there in Florida for spring break with no mask. So there's that issue. And then you talk about the walls. You know, there is the so-called Trump wall. There is the retractable fence around the Capitol due to the insurrection. So there's the 2 separate issues. But I get your point, sir. Governor Huckabee, I have to go, unfortunately, but I'm asking you, maybe is there any way you, as I believe, an influential Republican, to try to get together, get somehow some word out to everybody to try to work this out for the sake of the country? So
it would be great for all of us if that could happen.
I hope so. Thank you, Governor Huckabee. Nice to talk to you.